right, we're down here at the Mexican Hat boat launch. So we're gonna put in here today. It's Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. We gotta park our car. It's about maybe half a mile up the road at an RV place. Costs $5 a day. Mainly because we've heard that there are break-in problems down here at this boat ramp. And we're gonna be on the river 5 days. We're scheduled to come out on Saturday, and it should be a phenomenal trip. We're stoked. Are you stoked? You getting there?
I'm stoked.
Stoked?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You gonna feel better once all that's attached to your boat?
That's when I'll really be stoked.
We'll feel better when everything's attached to his boat, and when we set up camp tonight and realize we didn't forget anything. I think we're gonna do good. I think we're all ready. So my truck is left at the takeout down at Clay Hills, and we camped at Clay Hills last night, and then got up this morning, drove up here to Mexican Hat, and ready to put in. It's only 10 o'clock, so we're getting a pretty good start. We'll get on the river. We'll talk more about it later. You ready? You're floating.
Yeah,
you didn't.
I'm not capsizing. I don't hear any hissing. It's a good sign. Let's go.
All right. My boat's riding low in the front with this 50 pounds of food and water I have on the bow. But Lane's doing good. Water's cold, so I need to put a little more air in it. Already. And there's rapids a little bit up ahead. I hear them. Well, we just did the rapid that's right after you leave the put in, and it was it's a class 2 for sure, and it was a lot sportier than I expected. Kind of disappointed that I didn't have the GoPro running to catch it. It's the Mexican Hat Bridge over the San Juan. That's where we are. All right, we're at Mendenhall, I think is the way you pronounce it, Loop, and we took a break, taking a lunch break, and we also put on our rain gear because we're splashing a lot of water, and the water's cold, even though the temperature out here is pretty warm. We've come about 3.5 miles, and we've got about 7 more we'd like to do for tonight. We shouldn't have any more rapids to run today. It's a lot more, there's a lot more current to it. It's a lot there are more rocks. It's more riffly, I guess, than I expected. I mean, we have good stretches of just flat water, but they're not real long. So that's where we are. We'll be back. Well, we're trying to avert a dominoes falling kind of trip. Lane's got a possible leak in his boat. He got a leak in his seat pad. And I had the only GPS coordinates for where we were going, and my phone locked up. It wouldn't, couldn't press back, or couldn't press the buttons on the screen or anything. Luckily, I sent a satellite message to David, and he sent me back how to force restart the iPhone, which I would have never figured out on my own. And once it did that, we got us back in shape. So what do you think of the first day?
I mean, the water itself was awesome. The river was glorious. Immensely enjoyed that. A little annoyed with all my leaks.
We came about right at 10 miles. Tomorrow we're going to try to do about 15. Get us down to Ross Rapids, probably get just on the other side of that. There's a campsite literally right up against the rapids, so we'll probably try to use that tomorrow night. That's all we got, so we'll be back tomorrow. you have a good night?
I slept well enough.
Yeah? You happy to be back?
It was a beautiful night. It's gorgeous out here right now.
Yep, it's beautiful.
Beautiful start to the day.
We've got about 8 hours of paddling, we estimate, and then we hit a rapid, and then we're probably gonna camp around the other side of that rapid. That's the plan. So let's go do it.
I love these canyon walls. Woo. It's beautiful. Awesome to sit there and think about how long it took for this river to get to where it is today.
We've got a desert bighorn up here. Well, there he goes. You see him climb up on the cliff? That's awesome. Look at that. Forecast on Monday, today's Wednesday, the forecast on Monday said that we'd get strong winds on Wednesday starting about 2 p.m. It's 2:07. Strong winds started about 6 minutes ago. Said, unfortunately they're headwinds instead of tailwinds, but we'll get there. We've only got 4 miles to where I want to camp tonight, so it should be fine. We may not get there fast, but we'll get there. Ahead of schedule anyway. Got a desert bighorn. Alright, we've chickened out. It's class 2 rapid here, and we're just so far. We're 2 days downriver and 2 days upriver from being able to get out, and there's a lot of big boulders right there. The water's low, and we decided it was a little bit too risky, so we're portaging it. It's not a bad portage, so we should be fine. Discretion's the better part of valor sometimes. I think this is one of those times. Well, the campsite we planned to use was occupied by 8 old drunk people, and there was probably room for us, but they didn't want us there, so we kept on going. Now we're trying to find another site. It's 2 more miles to the next site on the right on the guide. I'm trying to see if maybe this one will work. There's one on the left down here I don't really want to use, but we'll see. Hopefully that one will work where Lane's at, because it's 10 to 5 and I'm ready to call it a day. I'm hungry. Well, battery's about dead, but we're starting day 3. We used an informal site last night. We made it work. Both of us set pretty well. Now we're starting. I don't have a lot of battery, so I'll have to replace sometime today. We've got, what did I say, 12 miles to go.
12 today.
12 today. We have to portage Government Rapids, a class 3 rapid, in about 9 miles. And then we have a reserved campsite 12 miles from here. So we did 17 miles yesterday and 12 today. You ready?
Giddy up.
Keep
Easy
airing that boat. We heard a beaver last night, we think, and there's some beaver cuts on these trees here.
Right there. Made a big splash. Scared me.
Thought we were under attack. All right, well, let's roll. All right, we're portaging Government Rapid. It's supposed to be the last rapid of the river. But after this, we only have 3 more miles and then our campsite for the night. But here, let me show you this rapid. Yeah, I mean, you come in, you can't come in on the left. There's way too much stuff. You come in on the right, and you'll avoid most of the initial things. And then you got this rock at the back end on the right, so you'd have a real hard time avoiding that thing. The water's running right into it, and especially our little boats, that would have a real big tendency to want to flip it. We're portaging, and we'll be done real quick without drama. We read that after Government Rapid, it would start slowing down and get sandbars, and we are 15 minutes below Government Rapid, and there's a sandbar. So much for flat water for the rest of the way. Slickhorn Canyon. Coming in from the right. San Juan River turns to the left. Looks like we got boats up there. So the river's become very, very flat, very little flow. In fact, it's pretty shallow through here with a lot of silt built up. But it's also a lot browner today than it was yesterday. And it was cloudy yesterday, so we think it may have rained somewhere upriver. And so we might be lucky. There's not much flow, but there may be more flow than there would have been if it hadn't rained. We're kind of having to stay more towards the side. That seems to be where there's a little more current. So it may be a lot of paddling today. We'll see. It's still beautiful. I mean, look at those big slick rock walls. Those make me happy. Big slick rock walls. Enjoy that view of Grand Gulch coming into the San Juan River. There's Grand Gulch. That's the mouth. I don't yet see a place to pull the boat up. That is the mouth of Grand Gulch. Such a beautiful canyon. Yeah, so the entrance to Grand Gulch is the confluence of Grand Gulch and the San Juan. It's just big. It's cliffy. And it's a really deep channel along the side, and there's no easy way to get in here. Really deep, several feet deep, so just no, A, there's cliffs, and B, there's a couple places down there where it gets lower, but the water's 4 feet deep, you can't get out. But it's beautiful. Let's take a couple pictures. You can hear it leaking.
Yeah, it's getting worse. Very discouraging. I don't want this to be a death march. This is a beautiful section.
Beautiful canyon through here. These slick rock walls. It's gotten really, really slow, and there's even been 2 or 3 times I've had to get out and drag the boat over sandbars. It's wide, so it's shallow. Also starting to lose the height of the canyon walls, and you can see in a couple of these places I think we could get out on top. We're really close to the campsite we're supposed to have tonight. It's probably just 10 minutes up ahead. But I suspect we're going to go on to the car because it's only 2 hours ahead and it's only 1 o'clock. So we'll see. That was supposed to be our campsite tonight. That green between the rocks. Doesn't look like much, and it's not much. I just everything right up on the edge was all deep mud. Literally fell in up to my knees and fell down in the river. It was awful. This took me like 5 minutes to drag my boat back up in the channel. So we have officially decided we're continuing. Just a little over 5 miles to the car. We should be there by 3:30, I think, at the latest. So it's become really hard to find the channel. Getting caught on sandbars that you can't see. The walls are getting lower. We're only about, I'd say, an hour from the takeout. So maybe 3 miles or so. Yeah, the walls are getting lower. It's getting hot. It's about 2:20 on Friday, April 19th. We are coming out a day early, but that Steer Gulch campsite that we were supposed to stay at looked pretty awful for starters. Second, we were there at like 1 o'clock. And third, we've had all kinds of drama. Lane's got leaks out of both of the valves of his Packraft. The seat of his Packraft is flat, won't hold air. One of my water bladders leaked about a gallon out yesterday. I've got enough to make it till tomorrow for sure, but it'd be tight. Now Lane's got like an extra gallon, so it would have been totally fine. But just given all that stuff, we just thought we'd push on to the exit. I think the smart move was to paddle on out, and it looks like we'll still be out by 3:30 or so. So it's still pretty early in the day. Still beautiful, that's for sure. They're kind of right. You come around that corner, like, it's signs there.